Friends, welcome back to Willie's Wheels. I hope you're doing well. In the next few days, we're going to transform this, which is my 2009 Volkswagen Transporter T5, into what's my dream camper slash production van. I'm going to do it all on a modest budget.
I've picked up this 2009 T5 with 130,000 miles and one previous owner, and I think it's the perfect starting point for where I want to go with this build. As you can see, for a 15-year-old commercial van, it's actually looking pretty tidy, at least from afar anyway. As you get closer, you'll start to see the markings of quite a hard life on the road. There's some rust bubbling on the lower part of the door, the panels are marked pretty much everywhere, and inside, well, there's definitely been a lot happening back here. So I'm really looking forward to changing things up in the back here and getting it looking a lot more tidy and just a nicer place to be for the family and more professional when I turn up on shoots.
Now you notice I have already made one change to the van, which is the wheels. It came on the stock tin, tiny, I think like 15-inch rims, and that just wouldn't do. So I've put on some John Brown wheels, Steelies, with Yokohama Geolanders all-terrains on. I'm a firm believer in modify before you fix, and this was the first change I did. I've had these wheels and tyres on for almost a year now, and the tyres especially have been really impressive. So why did I go for a 2009 T5 Transporter in 2024, and it's now 2025? Well, the answer is, it's economical. This van only cost me 8 grand. Whereas a new Transporter now, for this exact spec, you can get for this amount, but for where I'd want to take it, I'm probably pushing over 30 grand. And I haven't got that kind of money, sadly, not yet anyway. And to be honest, these stand up to the test of time. This has been used clearly by a tradesman of some sort, someone who specializes in green adhesive, and it's still pretty clean. It's also cheap to run and pretty cheap to insure. And I think these ones look great. This T5, I love the look of it. I actually learned to drive in a 2003 base spec Golf, and the dash is the same, the gear stick's the same, the fan controls are all the same. So it's quite nostalgic for me too. And there's so much potential with this platform to modify it and turn it into whatever you want. There's also a huge amount of aftermarket parts and bits and bobs and conversions and bits of furniture that you can get for this. The world really is your oyster with the Transporter. And they also have that community and cool factor that I certainly love, and I've always wanted one. Now, despite being a strong advocate for modify before you fix, slightly tongue-in-cheek, I have had this checked out by my local VW specialist, and it's been given a clean bill of health. So I'm happy to spend a little bit of money on the van to get it to where I want it to be. And that was a priority for me, because there's no point chucking money in cosmetic and practical changes to something if it's going to break down on you or whatever. So I've had it looked at, it's had a full service, and everyone's happy.
So, let's get into it. The first job on the list to do to the van, and you'll see from the title of this episode, we're getting a remap. So my T5 is the 1.9 PD, and it's got 105 horsepower from factory. And when it's loaded with filmmaking kit, stands, mag liner, cameras, lenses, lights, it certainly feels sluggish, especially on the motorway, pulling away, going up hills, basically all around, everywhere I go. So in this episode, Paul from Precision Performance is coming to my house and he's going to extract some more power and torque from a 16-year-old van, hopefully without breaking anything.
An audible woof from the front is when it's straight into limp mode. Fault on all 4 injectors.
And hopefully getting some good gains.
A 37% increase in power and a 12% increase in torque.
So just before Paul arrives from Precision Remapping, I thought let's take the van out and do a couple of acceleration tests so we can get a bit of a benchmark for the before, and we'll see a little bit later in the video what a difference a remap can make to a T5 1.9. In the words of Matt Watson from CarWow, we've got some specialist timing gear here, which is my DJI action camera. So let's test the torque first. Third gear, 20 miles an hour, flat out. Wouldn't say it's a spring chicken. Woo, made it to 50. So as you can see, there's a lot of room for improvement. Let's get this over to Paul from Precision Remapping and see what magic he can do. All right, we're here. Paul's here from Precision Remapping. There he is. and we're getting to it. Let me show you around a little bit.
Now, I'm no expert, but here's a basic breakdown of what a remap is. These days, tuning a car doesn't start with changing hardware, but telling the ECU to change characteristics of the engine, like adding more air or more fuel, and a mixture of many variables, all within the electronics in the engine. In fact, let the expert explain.
So yeah, there's many things within the ECU that will control how the engine management system makes the engine run. So yeah, you're looking at, you know, fuel in, the amount of air that's being monitored as it's being drawn in. You know, you're looking at camshaft speed, crank speeds, you know, temperatures, all sorts of stuff. So every one of those things will have a parameter, it will have a reading, it will have a given to make it run as it does.
Yeah.
So basically what we do is once we've extracted the information and we send it off, yeah, all of those things will be adjusted and rewritten essentially just to gain a bit more from everything.
Nice. So that's cool.
But how safe is it?
You know, perfectly safe thing to do. These things are written to be within what is considered to be the safe working limits of the vehicle. With stuff like this, you'll only really get a problem with it if it's going to exacerbate something that is pre-existing.
Yeah.
So the first step of a remap is to plug into the OBD port and scan the van for any errors, and it checks every electronic controller that's connected to the ECU on the van, just to double check and make sure everything's happy before tinkering with the software.
The possible ECUs that a van of this age could have, depending on optional extras, I guess.
Oh, I see.
And you've actually only got, what, 7 of them. We've got, on this tool, somewhere in the region of about, I think it's about 240,000 vehicles, models of vehicles. So you've got to find the correct vehicle. That one that's highlighted is yours.
So I got 101 brake and 250 newton meters of torque.
Allegedly, yes.
Yeah.
Probably
25 years ago.
I was going to say, a few of them have probably escaped over the years.
So what's the potential, like numbers wise? Obviously I'm not going to go and put it on a dyno or whatever. But
yeah, that was your figures on that one. So
what's that?
That's your figures there.
140, that sounds nice.
So after that, it was as simple as waiting for the map to be downloaded from the ECU, uploaded to Paul's boffins at HQ, and wait for a new map to be sent back. In the meantime, Paul showed me some of his old bikes and cars, and he's had some cracking vehicles in his time. And then, once it was uploaded, all was left was for a test drive, and to see if it was all worth it.
How many hundreds of cars you do? Still every time. Please start.
Well, it's on camera, so it better work.
No pressure.
Whee!
And no warning lights either. That's what we want.
Look at that, mate.
And what we'll do is
Sounds the same.
Yeah, we will plug it back in because as we've had something alien, that's not a pun on the Alien Tech branding, as we've had something alien plugged into the vehicle while we did the remap, sometimes it can throw like communication errors in and stuff that need to be cleared.
Yeah. That's a good shout. Alright, so the map is on, we're feeling good, the engine starts, and we are doing another scan now just to make sure everything's happy. And then in theory that's a win, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Happy days.
That's that. Then we go for a drive and see what we think.
And we'll be doing 0 to 60s in what, 3 seconds?
Oh, probably not.
3.5. It's quite warm today.
Yeah, a little bit quicker than it was before.
This was it. No error codes, and we got the green light for a test drive. Time to find out if all of this had been worth it.
This is like carpool karaoke.
Quite as fat as James Corden, but you know.
So what I love about this van is the turbo. Just you can hear it just go.
Yeah, he's whistling a little bit
the whole time. It's great. Right.
And go.
I can genuinely feel that is way different.
Right.
It's noticeable immediately for sure. I can actually, you know, like I was talking about hearing the turbo, I can actually feel it now.
Yeah.
Like as soon as it's on over 2,000 revs, you can actually feel it. It wants to accelerate.
The boost will have increased, you know.
Yeah, that's night and day. Yeah. Yeah. it's like
You should feel the boost come in a bit earlier.
So let's test the torque first.
100%.
Third gear, 20 miles an hour, flat out. It's alive!
Cool.
I didn't think it would actually be that noticeable, to be honest, because it's not a powerful engine, do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I mean this one, and even more so, as you said, if you thought it was the 88 brake. They're so dumbed down in the first place. It's crazy, really.
Man, it's running sweet as well. Happy days. A job well done.
Absolutely. It's just the painful bit to do.
I've got to pay you. Reish. Oh, we're in. All right. Mad happy. Yeah, thanks to Paul at Precision Mapping for coming out on a Saturday and getting the work done. It was super smooth. It went nice and quick. And yeah, really interesting to learn about the different ways that ECUs communicate, and how he was telling me off camera, he used to be a Land Rover tech, and yeah, now I think the new Defender apparently has like 90 odd ECU and electrical components that need to be scanned and checked, and doing work on new cars can be really tricky. So thankfully, because we're in an older van with only a few modules, it was pretty straightforward, and yeah, a couple of hours, and I got a noticeable improvement on performance. Yeah, definitely impressed with the step up in performance. As soon as the turbo kicks in, it feels like it's kind of breathing fresh air, and it like pulls just that little bit more, and it revs a lot freer. Like genuinely feels like it was running out of puff at like 3,000 RPM, and I'd have to change gear. This is just revving right up to 4 really quite easily. So definitely happy I've done it. It was well worth the investment, and I'm sure it's going to pay dividends when we got this thing loaded up with kit or camping gear or the bike in the back as well. I think we're going to feel an improvement for sure. So 10 out of 10. I think we're going to leave it there for this episode. In the next episode, we are going to start inside the back of the van. We're going to start tearing out the ply and fitting the floor and seeing how far we get. I'm going over to Sam's to spend the day there. He's going to help me out. Really looking forward to getting cracking on this. I hope you enjoy the rest of the build series. If you found this interesting, please give it a like and subscribe. There's plenty more episodes where I'm working on the van to come, and plenty more shenanigans on the bikes, of course. So it'll be good to have you. So it'll be really nice. So it'll be great to have you guys around. Yeah, in the meantime, stay safe. I'll see you guys soon.